Alright, so today I'm coming to you again from the railway tracks, I guess, area, and the scenic route, so to speak. And today, instead of talking about the origin of the Paracosm, I'm talking about kind of the current stage of development, and then where we're going to go next in the extension for this project into the future. Because it's 2015. It's March already, and I really can't believe how the months are flying by here. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about what's coming up. Needless to say, if you've been looking at the website or the YouTube channel, a lot of things have been taking place, and a lot of those things don't really have much to do with the Paracosm. The Simutrans series, I've gone through 3 different Simutrans series. I'm on the 3rd one right now, and both my website and the YouTube channel reflect that. And I have not put up much on the YouTube channel about the Paracosm. However, there has been a lot of development on the Paracosm. That's only available via the use of the website, and that's because most of this is written right now. Most of this development is going to be some written stuff, and I will say that the vast majority of this stuff is these written histories. And for many of you who might not see the relevance of these histories because of they're really difficult to read, they're very dense, they're almost like textbooks, and I understand that. The thing is that for me personally, it helps me to understand what exactly the civilizations in the Paracosm are doing, the cultures of these people. What are they doing? What are they thinking? How do they think? How are they being governed? And that provides kind of a springboard for me to base more interesting projects, so to speak, off of. I've written at least I'm working on a story right now that has not been released yet, and that's about something that was mentioned in the history textbooks. And I'm sure many of you have seen the story about the emperor's daughter, and that's a very enlightening and important story. And that came from, literally, I started that story while I was working on writing one of the histories. Another big thing that's been a little different than before is that I've been working a lot more on the east, the faux plain recently. And basically what happened there is that I was going through 2014 working on mainly the west, and the thing with that is that when you have this one civilization and you realize that there's other civilizations that exist, and I was writing the second part of the history for the West, and I was just talking about trade from the East, and it's like, well, I don't really know what's going on in the East, and I have to figure out what's going on there. So kind of after I finished segment 2 of the Western history, I kind of said, I'm going to take a break from the Western stuff now, and I'm going to go look at the faux plain and what's going on there. So thereafter, I wrote segments 1, 2, and 3 of the faux history. And I really can't stress the reason why I do that more. The fact is that I had just written about the Western history for so long that really I didn't really have a sight or an understanding of what was going on in the East, and I would just kind of continue to reference it only in a very piecemeal and poor, very scattered fashion. And so that was really the direction with that. So that's going to I'm going to try to continue to develop them somewhat simultaneously, so we don't run into any of these issues again. I am, of course, currently writing the Western history again. I'm writing the Western history segment 3, and you got to realize that the time covered by the Western history segments 1 and 2 is the same amount of time that's covered by faux history segments 1, 2, and 3. So there is an offset there. And so, for clarification, segment 3 of the Trotter of the Western history is set completely after segment 3 of the faux history. And that said, I'm kind of, I'm really focusing more on just trying to churn out this stuff. I really want to finish doing this so I can get more interesting things and more entertaining things. Perhaps some media, some digital stuff. Just some, not so much this writing. for me, in my perspective, in my idea, this has to be done in order just to lay, you know, the foundation for these other works that can happen. And for the future, I mean, that's basically going to be it. I mean, it's just going to be writing history until I get up to the current year of the Paracosm, which is 1660 YDY, or 2582 RT. And that will be the final year. That's going to be I'm not going to develop any the civilizations past that point. And the deal with that is that I need to just finish, you know, writing all this history stuff, and then I can move on, and I can begin to branch out and do some different things with it. I was going to try to draw some pictures again. I've been drawing pictures a little bit along, but I haven't been posting them or anything. They're not really the standard that the pictures that exist on there are. I need to draw some more maps, some in-depth maps of the faux region, and that's going to be done. But this really is going to be mainly happening after I just kind of, you know, finish just writing a lot of these histories, and that's going to take, you know, some time, as we're already in March here, and I've only finished. I've only gone up to 1,180 RT in both of the societies, and I'm now just trying to extend that with Trodair, with the Western History Segment 3, going up till probably about 1,500 RT. I don't know, because the conversion of the YDY reckoning and the RT reckoning confuses me still. I can't do it in my head. But I mean, as for the future, it's just going to be basically that. So I will say that it might be kind of boring for some of y'all, but probably the most entertaining thing that I'll be doing is writing some stories, because of the fact that I'm already writing, and I see something that interests me, especially, or something that I really, you know, get some real emotion from. I'm able to usually convey those emotions in a short story that isn't so prosaic and you know, kind of dull as the textbook kind of format that I'm writing the history in. And so that's going to serve to provide, you know, more insight, more entertaining, more intriguing insight into some of the, you know, events that happen that are like, oh, and this happened, and you can see it from a different perspective, from like the perspective of a peasant, or something that just, you know, somebody who's not involved, who's not a writer of a textbook. So that's probably the most entertaining thing that I've been doing, is just writing these stories. And I am working on a story right now. I'm not even sure if it's going to be long or short or anything. I'm just kind of starting to do that. I'm only like 2 or 3 pages in. But I have to say that even though it looks like not that much is going on, things are continuing in full tilt here. We have I've really been working hard on it, and as I'm sure you've also noticed over the past year, that the format of the website has improved, you know, many times. It's been changed many times, and we have this, you know, this solid, you know, format of this kind of divisions, I guess, on the screen. That is going to be the predominant format. I'm going to try to migrate the downloads into a more accessible and understandable format, and I'm going to try to make the history more, you know, have it easier. And I do want to provide summaries of the history, because I really understand that nobody likes to read these long, boring, you know, texts about paragraphs, and I will try to provide like some amount of timelines and summaries and things like that. But, you know, I mean, that's about it really that I have to say. Just talking about current in development, just kind of a general update for 2015. All right, I'm going to sign off now.